Hey, what's up? This is Jamal Abbott. Thanks for tuning in. Here to talk to you today about the third quarter tech update for 8x8. So, lots of changes have happened with this company, and excited to share this with you. And one of the first changes to talk about is the new CEO for the company. New CEO is David Sipes. He comes from one of 8x8's competitors, RingCentral, and he helped that organization go from a couple million a year up to more than $1 billion in revenue on an annual basis. And there's a lot of optimism and excitement from investors and from the company because of his background. So you can imagine that he's going to bring some of that level of excitement and expertise to help this company grow long term. So that's good news and exciting if you're a customer of 8x8. So one of the terms that I heard him use most was operational excellence. So that's one of the things that he brings to the table. He is an ops person, and some of those operational efficiencies he's going to bring to the company. So that's going to help them better execute as a company, as well as just do a better job of delivering the products and services to you as a customer for 8x8. One of the other things that was mentioned too for the company as a whole was that 8x8 was announced as a 9-time participant in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for UCaaS, as well as being a challenger in the CCaaS quadrant. So 8x8's been doing this for a long time, and this is just another highlight of what they've been able to do on a consistent basis. And one of the things to point out from this announcement is that 8x8 is the only UCaaS vendor to be also on the CCaaS list for the Gartner Magic Quadrant. The company is heading in the right direction in terms of growth and profitability, and that's good news and reassurance for customers on this platform. We're going to highlight a couple of areas for this tech update that you should know about. And I have this broken off into 3 different categories. The first category is going to be a combination of CCaaS and UCaaS. And if you're not familiar with those terms, CCaaS stands for Contact Center as a Service, and UCaaS stands for Unified Communications as a Service. And both these are cloud-based communication platforms that allow organizations to make phone calls, receive phone calls, and communicate within an organization as well with external customers, clients, and you name it. The second area that we'll cover is 8x8 Voice for Microsoft Teams. So that's the integration that 8x8 has connecting to a Microsoft Teams environment. And then finally, we will highlight some news related to the CPaaS portion of the 8x8 business. And if you're not familiar with that term, CPaaS stands for Communication Platform as a Service. So lots of excitement with this, and we'll just go ahead and dive right into this. Starting off with CCaaS and UCaaS, 8x8 highlighted the fact that there was more adoption of this as a combo package versus them being separate. So lots of adoption, lots of deals being done, and customers taken to this particular technology package. One of the interesting things I found about this was the story that they highlighted with CEC Entertainment, and they're known for operating the Chuck E. Cheese brand in the United States and overseas. And if you're a fan of Chuck E. Cheese, maybe grew up going to that place, I know I certainly did. It's pretty cool to see that 8x8 is, now has this company as one of its clients. They highlighted that CEC Entertainment operates in 47 states in the United States, as well as 15 countries abroad, and that they were looking to consolidate from multiple providers, as well as cut down on some costs related to the IT spend. So they chose 8x8 as their vendor. Ended up deploying a unified communication solution in about 4 weeks' time to completely do this across their environment. So we're talking about corporate locations and actual store locations. Those are all on the 8x8 platform within a 4-week period. So I thought that was pretty impressive. The other thing that they highlighted too was the adoption of this platform, Unified Communications as a Service and Contact Center as a Service, across different parts of the world. So lots of activity in the UK, lots of activity in the Australian market. So lots of adoption, and it's good to see that customers all across the world are using this platform. An example of that is Ryanair out of the UK, and 8x8 highlighted the fact that over 600 agents will be in customer service roles using this platform and taking advantage of the UCaaS and CCaaS capabilities. They also have integration with Zendesk, so all of that will tie together into their CRM solution. Another thing that caught my attention too was the public sector customers in the UK. So a lot of them dealing with public health or education. Those are now customers that have adopted CCaaS and UCaaS solutions from 8x8. And finally, just to wrap this up, 8x8 just highlights the fact that the adoption of CCaaS and UCaaS has been a big driver of growth for the company. So this might be something that you may consider if you're looking at a contact center or a unified communications solution from one single vendor. Turning attention now to 8x8 Voice for Microsoft Teams. This is the third-party integration into a Microsoft Teams environment, which allows that platform to leverage the 8x8 communication services for incoming and outgoing calls, as well as some contact center functions. So diving in deeper into this, part of the discussion for the earnings call was the fact that they highlighted some new functionality for Microsoft Teams. So for instance, you can manage your call settings, you can manage voicemail setting, all those things can be managed and controlled without leaving that environment. So that's one of the new integrations that they've highlighted in this discussion. There was an area of focus on certification for the cloud contact center solution with Microsoft Teams. And specifically, 8x8 is now included in the Connected Contact Center for Microsoft Teams certification program. So did some research on this program, and it's basically a way for Microsoft Teams customers to choose certified contact center providers that will integrate within the platform. So it's an API that ties into that third-party platform, and now 8x8 is one of those companies that you can tie your contact center function directly into the 8x8 cloud. So we talked about this in the last Tech Quarter update, but it's worth mentioning again too. You can use Microsoft Teams not only to make and receive calls, but you can also use that to manage your contact center operations. So all that information that's tied into that, all the functionality, the call logs and records, all of that can be done with a Microsoft Teams front-end interface with 8x8 working in the background to handle those telephony functions. Another interesting thing that they pointed out too was a study that they commissioned, and they surveyed quite a few companies and found that 3/4 of these companies would likely use a third-party interface to telephony functions for Microsoft Teams. So that's one of the reasons why you're seeing a big push from 8x8 to work well and work seamlessly with Microsoft Teams, because of the fact that there's more than likely a large portion of customers, and maybe yourself included, that may be looking to leverage some additional capabilities from a third-party provider. And then once again, too, that's that direct routing capability. Well, we'll go ahead and put a link into that. I talk about that in an answer that I posted about on Quora. And the last area that we'll highlight here in this tech update is the CPaaS, so Communications Platform as a Service. And they highlighted a couple key technology upgrades. One of those, which was some new integrations, so KakaoTalk. So that's another messaging type application that's found in the Asia area. So there's some integrations with that with the CPaaS platform. Also, too, there's a new verification with Google. So now with 8x8 customers that send SMS messages from the CPaaS suite, they are now Google verified SMS. So that's now supported. So good news for that. So CPaaS is another area that's still growing. They are looking to leverage some of those capabilities. We talked about Jazz, Jitsi as a service. That's the ability to integrate video into other applications. And this area of the business is more so established in the Southeast Asia area. And they have now a presence in the United States as well as in the UK. So, more to come on that as we do more of these videos and watch the progression of the CPaaS platform. And now, just kind of going back over to some last thoughts before we end this video. Dave jumped back on the call and he talked a little bit more about some of the things he saw in this 50 days here with 8x8 and some things to look forward to in the future. And one of the things he talked about was just the fact that this is still a young but growing industry. Specifically, what I'm talking about is for cloud communications. So there's still quite a few customers that are out there that are on these older premise-based solutions. And it's not too late for customers to migrate over and adopt some of these new tools and technologies. Specifically with the coronavirus, we have seen and witnessed the fact that these tools and these applications that are built in the cloud allow users to really work from anywhere. And that was one of the messages that Dave highlighted in his talk and his remarks. So if you're using 8x8's cloud communications platform, I know I am, you're in good hands. These tools are proven and it's only getting better as time goes on. If this is something that you're still looking to do and still looking to evaluate different vendors, this is definitely a platform that I wouldn't hesitate recommending, in the sense that these tools allow you to work from anywhere. They go wherever you go, and these tools are only going to get better in due time. So I would encourage you to look more at the videos here on this channel and to learn more about how they may work best for your organization. This is really, really early in the journey, and I can see 8x8 turning a new corner right now with this new direction in leadership and a renewed focus on doubling down on the technology and then making sure that customers are aware of the tools and the resources that are available to them on this platform. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts about what you've learned here today, we'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. You have a couple different ways of contacting me. You can reach me via email, and that's jamal@thephoneguy.com, and that's THA phoneguy.com. You can hit me up via text, and my number is 725-500-5132. Feel free to text me some feedback and let me know your thoughts either about this episode or if you have any questions about what we've discussed here today. Or feel free to go to my website, jamalabbott.com, and there's a section for contact. You can hit me up there and leave me some information. And if you're watching this video, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. So we'd love to hear your feedback and answer maybe any additional questions that you have about 8x8 and what they're doing this quarter. So once again, this is Jamal Abbott. Thanks again so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.